Have you got any questions?
I just wanted to mention that if anybody's regularly been before to the Earth Cafe, which is on Union Corner, that starts up again this Saturday.
Yeah, that's really good.
We talk about the global climate crisis there, as well as offering a vegan meal.
And I'd like to, for us all to know, forgive me if you've already mentioned it, but these animals, whether it's sheep or cows or whatever, piled into lorries and things like that to go to the slaughterhouse. And these animals, they're so ultra sensitive, more than us, and they pick up atmosphere. They know where they're going.
Yeah, that's a really valid point. On top of that, I didn't mention it earlier, but they're all babies, so they could have lived a lot longer. But they're generally just fattened up until they're sent to slaughter. So if you imagine, it's like a puppy. That's why I use the term puppy, because those chicks that were on the back of the truck were like puppies. But yeah, you're very right. As I said, there's so many different areas that we can look into, but they are sensitive. They're individuals. They do pick up on the smell of the slaughterhouse. And yeah, I've heard animals screaming in it, like when I was at a slaughterhouse, and they do know what's happening. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're talking about different food products and looking at it from different angles, societal, environmental, political, and you're looking at the consumer angle of mass consumption of animals. So my brother and my mother, if you like, save battery chickens before they've been discarded and let them roam around space. Yeah. But they produce eggs. Yeah. Now they eat their eggs.
They do, yeah. So some chickens do, yeah.
Not all of the chickens produce eggs, but they're very happy to have a new life in this new home, to be able to roam around, to go wherever they want, basically. Yeah. Next field, next street, whatever. If you ate that egg, how would that be in terms of the issues that you've mentioned today?
Yeah, so I'm an ethical vegan. So I'm vegan first, and then the environment second, and human health second. For me, it's about animal rights. And growing up, I had chickens, and I used to take the eggs, and they tried to peck me as I was taking them. And so from my perspective, it's their possession. And even if they left it, I still believe that maybe they wanted to leave it there. Do you know what I mean? So and also eggs to my knowledge, aren't healthy. The cholesterol, the saturated fat, and it always weirds me out with eggs as well, because actually it's the period of the egg that we're actually eating. That's on a personal level, yeah.
I mean, that question goes for all different animals. If someone saved a goat, or I don't know, a cow or anything like that. Yeah. So you're saying that this thing that they have reproduced, the egg or the milk or whatever, it's theirs. Yeah. It's their possession. Yeah, I suppose it's not human right to go and just take the possession of that animal. Is that
that would be so yeah. It's quite wide, the perspective, but I have to say it from my perspective. It's about consent. So we could go and milk a dog, but does that dog want us to give the milk? Does the goats you're talking about, do they want it? And knowing that I don't need it, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and not take it. Also, I will be around. I'm really happy. I really enjoy answering all the questions. It seems like we've got another talk, but you had one first.
Yes, I've wondered, Jack. Now he's a dog.
Yes.
What do you feed Jack on?
What? Oh, okay. So I don't have Jack anymore. I don't have any pets at home anymore. But for dogs, for people that I do know that have dogs, there is a vegan dog food. You can't do it for cats, I don't think. It's a bit more trickier, but dogs, you can be happy, healthy dogs on vegan food.
But are we ever going to have... Don't we use, in some form, I mean, I'd love to see a whole organic farming. Even if I don't eat meat, I'd like to see the organic farming. Yeah. But if nobody eats meat at all, are those animals going to die out?
Yeah, so that's a double-parted question. But the reality is that we have sanctuaries, and also we breed the animals, so we choose when they breed. So they're never going to die out. No,
when they breed.
But that's what we do. That's what we currently do. Yeah. Have we run out of time?
I think if they're two quick questions. And mine was just very quick point is my daughter has cats and they're on a vegan diet.
Oh, they are?
Really healthy.
They're healthy. Okay, cool.
The elderly ones, middle aged.
Ah, that's good.
Transferred from a meat diet to a vegan diet. The dog is also. My other thing was about soya really, because vegans get a bad press over soya, but I believe that 90 to 95% of soya production goes to feed cattle.
It does, yeah.
The environmental impact
Yes.
is much greater if you eat beef and dairy.
Yeah, especially in the UK, because where we get... No, it's an absolutely amazing point, and I didn't really have time to fit it all in, but you're absolutely correct. The soya argument is not a vegan argument, it's a human argument, because you're right, the deforestation that's happening is from soy, which is being fed to animals, not vegans, because vegans only make up 1% of the population, so it's a non-argument against vegans. It's more of you need to hold a mirror up to the people who are saying it and saying, but the animals you eat are eating soy, so you're absolutely right, yeah.
Velma, did you want to ask something?
No, it wasn't me. I was just going to say that I supported some children on a residential 2 farms for city children, which the one local is near Pen, and they had what they call Calf City for the female calves, and the children actually were thrilled to watch a calf being born, which was lovely. And of course all the adults were saying, what sex is this calf? Are these children watching a calf being born? And they're so delighted to see that life coming into the world. And will that calf actually be still alive by the time we all get back to school? But in this calf city, they were like pens, almost like a kennel. So there was an area where they had shelter, and then a little area outside, and then there was like an upturned bucket with a sort of nipple effect on it, and they were all segregated, so they couldn't meet with each other or anything. And it was near where the cows were milked. So when the cows were brought in to milk, they were crying to the calves, and the calves were all answering. It was heartbreaking. And then when the cows were milked, one of the jobs that the children had to do was to bring some of the massive gallons of milk that had been produced by the cows milking over to Calf City to pour them into these upturned buckets for the calves to drink it from this plastic teat. It was horrendous.
Yeah, it is, and there's lots more things that are happening out there. It's just up to you guys to just have a little bit of a digger deep. And the reality is that they are mothers. I'm not a mother myself, but it's that the maternal bond that is being broken by human hands, and we don't have a right to do that to them, especially when we don't need to. Yeah, it is.
I think that analogy about the dog at the beginning, I've said to people, well, if you eat, they'll say, couldn't eat a rabbit. I said, but you eat chicken.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you for the opportunity, guys. Thanks for coming along.
And please go and look at Berty's stall, because there are leaflets with some nice recipes in.
Yeah. And as I said, I'll be around if anybody has any other points that you didn't get a chance to ask.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.